Welcome to the CC United slideshow to increase positional awareness throughout the 11 and 12 age group. This slideshow will not only be part of player evaluations for 12-year-old players and older, as on day 2 of tryouts they will be trying out for a position, but it will improve our team's effectiveness as our players will have a greater understanding of each player's role, both in attack and defense. These next slides are in regard to the role of the striker in our 11 and 12 formation 3-3-1. As you can see, our starting point of our striker is isolated against their last defender, player 11, in the shot. Our striker should always be aware of where their last defender is and should always be the highest player and always in a position to either run behind or push back to create space for our players to come into. So as the ball goes out wide to 6, as you can see, 8 is playing on the playing off the shoulder, as it's called, of 11. He's playing on the side of the ball that on the opposite side of the ball, forcing 11 to either pay attention to the ball or pay attention to 8. If you've noticed him playing there in that starting position, creates these gaps between the outside defenders to run through and also creates the opportunities to check and receive. As the ball's in here, the two options of our striker is either, once again, starting point is high up the field, level with 11. Could be a checking 2 to receive a pass, could be a running in behind. This is another shot of playing on the shoulder. So when the ball goes wide, our striker should be looking to get on the opposite side of the field, if possible, still centrally. And this will force 11, who's in a good position to second defend here. At the moment they're about to get overrun 2-on-1. But if 8 is now playing in here and 11 pays him any kind of attention, it creates this passing lane that we can go through and hit. If 11 decides to go zonal defend, we've got a clearer pass in there. And if 11 tries to man mark, we've got an even bigger gap to hit. Once again, as the ball is getting played in, we introduce here movement patterns. This is called running the horseshoe. As you can see, this run here that the striker is about to make, if you look at the path of the run and where it would be at certain points, this running pattern is designed to draw the defender towards the ball, and then as the player spins off along the line, it would create a passing lane to pass in. So, role of our striker is always, again, to create depth. So as players building off, we want our striker to not only be aware of the offside line, and the offside line is just in behind the last defender. We want our striker playing so high up the field that it keeps forcing our defender back. So we want our striker playing in an offside position, just pushing them back slowly, making our central defender aware of where they are and creating this space in here. And once in there, we can check 2. So all that space was created by the movement prior. And then we've got an option to lay off and play through. And note, look, when our striker checks 2 and draws in, it creates lots of space for other players to run onto as well. So just to go over our final thoughts of our striker. Positioning starts off. Positioning is the most important part of everything. It must be level with that last defender, trying to stay central as much as possible. The attacking runs of making sure that when we are looking to check 2, that we create depth first, so we create the space we're going to check in. If we're going to run behind, we move towards and we run the horseshoe. if the ball goes wide, that our strikers are able to play on the shoulder of the defender. And that if we check 2, that we're looking for combination play. So can we check 2 and lay the ball off and run a horseshoe? Or can we check 2, drawing in the defender, lay off and allow somebody else to be in there? And one thing our striker needs to be aware of with playing so high up the field and being isolated is, do they have the skill set 1v1 to take on that last defender? And can they recognize when the defenders don't double team or even stay compact together, and they recognize that isolation so that they are able to take on that last defender and go straight to goal?